Good evening, everyone. My name is Ebony Raby. I am the Missions and Records Coordinator, as well as the Family District Coordinator for LSDVI and SSD. Tonight, I will be presenting on the missions and just some fun facts, requirements, and our flow process. I'll open the floor at the end if anyone have any questions or share my contact information for you at the end. Our objective to guide your family through the admissions process so your child can have access to education without limits here at LSDVI. That is our objective for your child and your family. Requirements: students must be a resident of Louisiana between the ages of 3 and 21. That's the 21 is the cutoff mark before they will age out at 22. The students must have a classification of visual impairment or blindness for LSVI and hard of hearing or deafness for LSD in accordance with our Louisiana Pupil Appraisal Handbook. Students applying for admissions to LSVI must have a classification of blind or visual impairment as their primary exceptionality on their evaluation. And the same for LSD. LSD must have a classification of hard of hearing or deaf as the primary exceptionality on their evaluation. I'm not saying that's the only exceptionality that they can or may have, but it must be the primary. Here is a chart of our flow chart and showing you the process of the time it takes to the finish of doing the admissions journey. You will start by applying. You can apply through LEA, um, parents can apply, and you can always submit an application via email, fax, electronically, whatever may work for you. You may even come into the office to apply. You can reach out to me to receive this application. It could be mailed to you. But you will apply. After you apply and I receive your application, I then go and do a records request from the previous school. Then the admissions committee, we meet and we discuss the application, the needs of the child, the exceptionalities, and what we could offer your child. Every child is different, and so they have different needs and requirements. Then we inform the family of the committee decision. It is a committee decision. It's not made just by myself, but it is, a group of us from our assistant superintendent, Dr. Lane, to our people appraisal. We have our IEP facilitator on there, transportation, and we just make a solid decision of if we can meet your child, whether they will qualify for the dorm or not. And so that's why we meet together as a committee. We inform the family of the decision, and then if it is approved or if this may not be a good fit for your child and your family, we will help you and inform you of other decisions that may be available to you guys. After that, we give you a start date and we inform the schools of your child's arrival. Here are some frequently asked questions that some parents, family members, guardians sometimes ask. Enrollment at LSD is done. What is the deadline? I apologize. What is the deadline to enroll at LSDVI? And when I say LSDVI, that means Louisiana School for the Deaf and Visual Impaired. And so, what is the deadline? Enrollment at LSDVI is done on a rolling basis year round. Because it is parent option, we don't have deadlines that you have to apply for kindergarten by a certain time. If you decide to come in the middle of the year, towards the end, apply during the summer, we are open to that. How long is the enrollment process? The enrollment process can take up to 7 business days, depending on the release of the records from the applicant's current school district. So if I do a records request from the child's previous school, I can't go further with the application until some of that records information is received so we can understand placement and things of that. Um, is there a cost to attend LSDVI? I get that question a lot with us being a residential program and all of the great services that we offer. Sometimes parent asks, will my insurance be charged? Will I be charged the fee? And the answer is always there is no price LSDVI can put on your child's education without limits. The fun experience and the memories made here. They will have a wonderful time. They will receive some of the best education, and you really can't put a price on that. Okay. Um, are direct and related services available? Yes. Eligibility for direct and related services are determined via evaluation findings and IEP committee decision. Again, that is an IEP decision of with you as a family to say, hey, I would like for this to happen in, services for my child, whether it's OT, physical therapy, APE. Those things are discussed at the IEP committee um, meeting. And so service delivery model is dependent on the students' educational support needs. Um, do they have to be a residential student to attend LSDVI? No, they do not. They can be a day student. Um, the requirement to be a day student, however, is they have to live within a 25-mile radius um, to become a day student, or less we may not offer daily transportation in a Pacific parish. And then that will vary. But that question more in depth could be answered during the application process if you would have more questions about that. These are the different papers and applications that is included in the LSDVI application packet. We have the application. With the application, we do ask that you provide proof of address so we can know where the child is living, and that proof of address is also used for transportation. For LSDVI medical packet, that is needed to understand the needs of the child, any medication that may be taken daily or at certain times, allergies, things like that, consent to medical care, because we are staffed 24 hours when students are on the campus. And so that medical packet will serve several purposes. When you turn in that medical packet, we ask that you include the insurance card and immunization record. If you say, well, I don't believe in doctors or my child going to get immunizations and things like that, there is a form that we could provide to you if needed. You could just ask for that form. Hold harmless form, residency questionnaire, and transportation form. All those will be turned in order for us to give you a start date. We want to be prepared and have the most information that we need. All these documents are required before we can give you a start date. I always tell parents, I move as fast as you move. And so if you get me all these paperwork in 1 day, 2 days, I will make sure that I am on it and that I am processing the paperwork and I am keeping you up to date. Our meetings typically happen once a week. Where we meet with the committee. And so I try to have all the information presented before we discuss each child on the committee. Again, the above documents could be retrieved and submitted in our office. You guys could come in. We ask that you would call before and maybe set up an appointment. Due to COVID, we want to be responsible. And if you do come on campus, we ask that you please wear a mask and limit the guests. It could be submitted electronically, whether that is fax, email, scan. We are okay with that. We will process it as best as possible. And this is my contact information. Again, I represent LSDVI district as a whole for admissions and records and their family engagement coordinator. And so, if you have any questions or have any needs or would like to set up a virtual tour, because we're not doing in person tours at this moment, again, due to COVID, here is my contact information. My email is eraby, E as an elephant, RAB as in boy, Y, at LSD as in dog, V as in Victor, I.org. And I am available to answer emails, phone calls. At any time that you have those questions, I will guide you through the whole admissions journey. And my job is to make sure that it's pleasurable, it's informative, and you are getting what you need for your family and your child. And I hope to see parents coming out to apply. Now is the perfect time to do so. Um, I know summer is coming up, but you do not have to wait till the summer to get those applications in. Now is a great time to apply for admissions to LSD, LSDVI. And so come out and request a virtual tour if you need it, but we are here to service you. Thank you guys so much and have a good night.